Greetings, beautiful people. Today, I'm going to be showing you how to sew your very own cushion. To sew this, you only need a half yard of upholstery fabric or fabric that you like and want to make into a cushion, and you need like a contrasting piece of fabric that you can use to make a motif. You don't have to do a motif at all. You could just make a blank cushion. You also need a sewing machine, fabric scissors, a ruler, something to draw with. As long as you have about 30 minutes to an hour to spare, you can easily make this cushion. I don't think I took more than 30 minutes in order to make this. So this is a really quick, easy, beginner-friendly sewing project, and I hope that you will enjoy it. So I'm measuring my cushion to check and see how wide it is, because this size was perfect. So it's 19 inches that way, and then this way it's 18 and a half. So I'm just gonna cut my cushion to be about 20 by 20. So it's gonna be a square. That is gonna include allowance. I'm going to be using this red chalk that I got from Texie. It's so cool. Oh look, it's my trusty sewing kit with a bunch of sewing things. My fabric is folded, so I have 2 layers. And when I draw the square on the top layer and cut it out, I'm going to end up with 2 pieces. So I'm going to use this ruler to draw the first line. I think this chalk is really cool because it's not the actual chalk. You know how tailor's chalks would easily break? This one doesn't break because the powder is pretty much inside this tube, and there's just a thing on it that when you go like this, it draws a line with the powder. So it doesn't break and it draws really well, as you can see. So I'm gonna go ahead and draw another line at the top here. So this line is gonna be at a right angle with the first line. So my ruler is lined up here, so that way I can draw a line right here at the right angle. So now I'm going to use my tape measure to measure 20 inches. And by the looks of it, I need to draw my line all the way to this point. So I'm just gonna make a mark right there. And I'm going to extend the line with my ruler. By the way, this ruler is from Texie. I really like it. It's big and long, and it has all these lines on it that makes it really perfect for drawing things. So then I'm going to draw another right angle line right here. So we're pretty much just creating a square, and we have a really nice bright line there thanks to this chalk. So I'm going to take my tape measure again, and I'm going to measure 20 inches. So 20 inches comes all the way down here. So I have to move my fabric up so you guys can actually see what I'm doing. And I'm going to put the 20-inch mark right here. Then I'm going to measure on this side 20 inches as well and draw a line. So now that we have the base for our square, I'm going to complete this line over here, and I'm going to start a right angle line below. Same thing over here. I'm going to complete this line and then complete this one down here. With that being done, I have a perfect square right here that is 20 inches on all sides. So I'm going to get my magnetic wristband, which is also from Texie, and I like this because I can put my pins on it, slap it on my hand like this, and this is magnetic. So then I can take my pins and I can put them on the wristband like that. So I always have pins with me. If I walk 5 miles away from this table, I will have pins still. Boom. So with it like this now, I'd pretty much just put a pin in all the corners And I'm doing this just so that my fabric will stay in place. And once I'm done with that, I'm going to take my Hercules cordless electric fabric cutter and I'm going to cut this from the fabric. I don't remember the name of this fabric, but it's a nice suede finish. I think they call it flock. Yeah, I think they call it flock or something to that effect. But in your country, it may be called something different. But this texture is absolutely gorgeous and I love green. As you can see, I'm outside here in the beautiful nature scene. This is cordless, so I don't have to worry about cutting my cord. What I have to do in order to turn it on is to press this button under here and this light on the top comes on. Then I'll just press this and the blade starts moving. Keep cutting. I'm gonna take this piece of fabric out of the way. So in a sense, I'm giving you a mini tutorial on how to use this cutting machine. I'm gonna cut again. Go like this. Bam! So just like that, we have taken this piece off of it. And I'm gonna cut once more. And cut once more. I'm gonna take the pins out of the corners of my fabric and I'm going to reveal the beautiful squares that we have cut. Okay, look at this. 2 beautiful squares for our cushion. And usually I would like to put a symbol on it, just like there's a symbol on this one, like a beautiful heart, but I didn't bring any symbols with me. Maybe I could freestyle one. I am using my Singer Craft Maker iron and it comes with this heat resistant pad. So I'm just gonna put that right here and put my iron on top of it. And I'm gonna put my fabric pieces right sides together. So I'm gonna give my fabric a good press. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. I don't even need to be counting. I don't know why I'm counting. Just need to like keep it moving. All right, so I'm gonna take some water and we're gonna put it into the iron. All right, so now we have water in the iron and it can actually steam. And that's exactly what we need, you know? We need the steam for, ah. All right, so just steam press this very nicely. Hopefully when we turn it over to the other side, it will look more pressed. It does look more pressed. We just have to give it a little more time. All right, so now we have these 2 beautifully pressed pieces of squares. They're actually not all that beautifully pressed, but they're certainly better than before. So I'm going to use this fabric right here to make something to go on this. And honestly, I think I'm gonna make it a heart again. And what I'm going to do is to draw a heart. And when I'm drawing hearts, I like coming like really deep from the center right there. And then I'm gonna bring it around with a curve. You can hardly see what I'm drawing here, but just trust the process. This is looking a lot like a heart to me. So I'm going to take my Fiskars scissors. Like, why is everything green at this point? Like, I saw me love green. All right, so I'm gonna just cut this now. Let's see. Boom! It's a perfect heart. Look at the heart! Oh my gosh! So I'm gonna take one of my fabric pieces and I'm going to fold it like this in half, and then I'm going to fold it again. So I'm pretty much just looking for the center of the fabric, and as soon as my iron gets hot, I'm just gonna take it and press like this. So it looks to me like there still isn't a crease, but we're gonna work with it anyway. So the crease is not very obvious, but we're just gonna put the heart right here. If I had fusible interfacing with me, I would put that underneath this heart, but I don't right now because I am literally by a riverside. I'm just putting as many pins around the corners as possible. This is what our cushion looks like so far. A beautiful green color with a tropical heart on the inside. Absolutely gorgeous. The first thing I'm gonna do is to stitch the heart to the fabric. We have it on a straight stitch and we have stitch length 4. For the tension, we have it on 4. I'm putting it right there. Then I'm going to lift the presser foot up, pivot my fabric like this, and I'm going to take this pin out. So it's pivoted, and I'm putting the presser foot back down so I can stitch again. Take this pin out. When you're finishing your heart or whatever motif you plan to use, you want to make sure that you backstitch at this point. And because I did not use fusible interfacing, it shifted a bit, and as you can see, it has a bubble right here. If I did use fusible interfacing, it would just lay flat, but it still looks great nonetheless. What I'm going to do is to just trim this excess fabric right here, and that pretty much just puts everything back into balance. I'm going to use this lint roller from Texie or Streamer.com, and I'm going to just lint away all of this loose thread that got on my fabric. If you don't use a lint roller for sewing, you need to get with the program, because trust me, like, threads really get all over the place. If you get threads on your clothes, you can just use your lint roller to just clean all of the threads off. So this is my heart, and it's been stitched to the fabric. It looks so gorgeous, right? I'm gonna put this piece down. I'm going to put this piece on top of it. Put it right sides together. Make sure that all the corners match. And I'm going to put my pins back into it like they were before. I'm going to stitch from here, going up here, all the way around here, and back down here and around to this point. And remember, I'm using stitch length 4 and tension 4, and I'm using a straight stitch. So you remove the pins as you go, and we're gonna pivot the fabric again. Pivot the fabric again. I don't know why my fabric is sliding, but if you're working with this type of fabric, it's highly likely that it's going to slide for you as well. But that is something that we can easily fix. So I'm just going to keep on stitching here. And once I get to this point, I'm just going to backstitch and I can take this out. As you can see, my fabric actually slipped out of place. I think it's just this fabric. Like, this fabric is very slippery, but that's not going to affect how our project turns out. So I'm just going to trim away this excess, put it away. I'm going to take my Texie titanium blade mini scissors and I'm going to cut away the fabric in the corners of my cushion case. And what this does is makes it so that I can completely push the corners out so that they will be squared. So then I can take this and I'm going to put my hand inside, hold on to one part, and I'm going to pull it through. So what we're going to do now is that we're going to take our scrap fabric. So I'm going to take these scraps first and I'm going to put them in there. So I'm going to put the scraps in. First bag of scrap that's going to be going inside. So what I do is have all of my scraps going up at the top right there, and then I'm just gonna bring these two pieces here together. So I'll just fold it like this, and I'm gonna put a pin into the fabric right there. I'm going to take this to the sewing machine and I'm going to stitch along this area right here. I'm doing a reverse stitch at the beginning to secure that area, and then I'm stitching.